In this episode, we're going to learn how to go very tactical, how to find deals. It's really hard to find deals. So I'm going to show you 5 ways that I'm doing, then it's working perfectly. And if you even try to do one way, I can guarantee you're going to close multiple deals. So I'm going to go super tactical. If you are driving right now, that's totally fine. But if you are watching this, please take a notepad, or you can go back and revisit again. Welcome to Before the Profit podcast. My name is Bernal, and I am an investor here in Connecticut, and rentals and flips, it's all I do all day long. So I'm here to teach you how to do and how to flip and how to have rentals. And I'm so excited about today's episode because we're going to go tactical today. We're going to go super tactical. And you can have a lot of information with books and podcasts, but if you don't apply, if you don't have a framework, or you don't have a system, you don't have anything to where to start, then you're going to be stuck. Every week I get this question from multiple people. Andres, how do you flip 3 to 5 houses every single month? How do you buy so many rentals? And it's a combination of a lot of things. I have 5 methods. That's all I do. And I focus very well. So even if you focus today in one of them, I'm going to encourage you to not try all 5 because you're going to be stuck, but try at least 1 or 2. And until you're not a master of that one and you don't have a system, I will not go to the next one. But again, you can pick and choose whatever it's convenient for you. All right, the first method, it's real estate events. Every single month, there's multiple events. And it could be, education events like City RIA in Connecticut. Every state has a RIA, which is a real estate education, but also just networking. Now, the way that people network these days is they go to an event thinking that they're going to get deals, but it doesn't work like that, because people that have deals do not sell deals to people that they cannot remember their face. So super tactical here. The first thing that I will do is be kind and be genuine, like be yourself. Try to be kind to others. And the other tip that I can give you is do not try to say, hey, do you have any deals if you don't know that person. So you meet people and you try to meet everyone in the room. When I say everybody in the room, the problem is sometimes, I'm an introvert, right? Defined by society. And then when I go to these events, sometimes I get stuck talking to one person. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to talk to one person 5 to 10 minutes and then go to the next one. And try to lose that freaking fear of not talking. If you want to deals and if you really, really want to start, this is the first step that I will do. Try to talk to as many people as you can, especially if they are in the wholesaling business, agents, and try to get yourself memorable. Maybe like wear a funky hat, or maybe wear, I don't know, if you have a color hair, like try to be different. Don't try to be the same and try to blend in everybody's world. And introduce yourself and be kind and say, hey, my name is Andres and I'm a real estate investor here. Don't start talking about everything that you have done, because the truth is nobody cares. And say, hey, what do you do? Try to be, intrigued by the other person. Don't just try to be like, oh, this is me and I'm God and whatever. Like, try to be intrigued by the other person. What do you do? And then try to make that connection. Do not give, business cards. I don't think they work. I think social media is the best business card. So, hey, let's connect on Facebook. What is your Facebook? What is your Instagram? Follow that person. Because you never know. I have agents and wholesalers that haven't done a deal, and in a year, then they have 3 to 4. And guess who they call? Those 3 to 4, they call me, because I make that connection. Genuinely, not because I care about the deal. The deal is going to come if you care about the person. That is the truth. So go to the event thinking that it's not going to be like, I'm going to make a deal right now. It could happen, but thinking about the connection. And the worst it could happen, the worst is that you meet a lot of people, and whenever they have a deal, they think about you. If you don't make it a deal in the event, the worst that could happen is that they think about you when they have one. Maybe you're specialized in new construction. Not a lot of people do new construction. So you can be memorable by the guy that wears a pink hat that does new construction. I don't know. I'm just giving you ideas. Do whatever you want, whatever your heart feels. It's up to you. But try to be different and try not to brag, and try to be genuine and very curious about the other person. The second one is lead services. I've been starting using this here. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you the one that I use because there's so many. And the reason why I'm not going to tell you is because we're still testing. So far, we have closed 3 deals out of maybe 90 5 leads. And the good thing about these leads are that if sometimes they cost a lot of money, anywhere between $300 and $500 for one lead. So if you don't have that kind of budget, don't do it. But the good thing about some services is they sort of guarantee the lead. So if the person doesn't respond, they refund you back. If it's not a lead, like, let's say that they don't respond to your text messages, or they tell you they're not interested in selling, then you get a refund. But these lead services are really, really good. Why? Because the way that it works is, as far as I know, is they advertise on their website and they put a lot of money on the SEO, like to be known online. And then once people, motivated sellers, quote unquote, fill their information, then that information go to us and then we call them right away. Now, these lead services only work if you're a hustler or if you have someone that actually hustles. If you don't call them right away as soon as they come, you're gonna lose. We are noticing that we have a better tracking and a better grip of leads when we actually call them right away, and we're tracking all that. So again, lead services are great, and you can set up the budget. You can say, hey, listen, I just want, let's say 3 leads per month or 2 leads per month or something like that. And again, they're great, but they take time. And if you are a good closer, like if you're a good person, people's person, and, then you will do really good on this. Now, these leads, like any leads service, majority, they will not be as motivated. But again, I have closed 3 and they're really good deals. Maybe you're a wholesaler. Maybe you don't care about me that, like as a flipper, I need to get a better discount than as a wholesaler. Maybe you can wholesale this to an end buyer. Maybe you're a realtor right now listening to this and you can have these leads, and instead of obviously wholesaling or selling it off market, you can list it. I can guarantee you realtors, if they start doing this, they're going to make more money, because most of these people want to go with the agent to get top dollar. These homeowners know how the market is, so they want to get top dollar, and sometimes they want the convenience to work an investor like me. So I will say you should look into it. Again, there's many out there. Look the ones that are reputable, have good reviews, and I think lead services are great. The third one is MLS or Zillow. So if you have access to the MLS, you're actually going to do the same thing anyways. But if you have access to the MLS, let's say that an agent can send you these leads or can log in with you once a week, and then the agent can let you use the system, that's gold. But if not, you can use Zillow or Realtor for this purpose. Now, the way that you're going to do this is you're going to really, really focus. And when I say that is, a lot of people, what they do is they just look on Zillow and then just browse, and then just like scroll, and I cannot find anything. But the reason why you cannot find anything is because you don't have a criteria. You cannot be very specific on the criteria, but also you cannot be very wide. You have to find the middle. So for me, and again, you have to find what works for you, and maybe this works for you, but for me, what works is I put on Zillow, well, I don't use Zillow, but you can do this. You can say, I want all the houses below 350,000. They are over 900 square feet and not older than 1900. You can set that filter. That way, when you do that, you are more specific about the things that you don't want. So if I were you, I will reverse engineer and say, okay, I don't want, let's say, condos. They're too complicated. So you can eliminate condos. And then once you have all that criteria, you're going to look for county. Do not put like all Connecticut. Go for county and then make a list of the counties that you want to be in or the towns that you want to be in. And then some towns, the median price is like 500,000. So all the houses might be above that median price. So you're not going to get any hits. Then you have to adjust for that town. But let's say that there's a lot of towns that, let's say the houses are selling for 500. You should get it for less than, let's say, 400. That, right? So you got to put that criteria on those counties and look county per county. So start with this county, okay, or town by town, make a list of the towns that you want to go in. And then once you finish that county, then you go to the next one. The reason why people get burned out, I got some students that get burned out is because they look wide. I'm like, why? Just start looking and get an expert on it. Once you find a house on an MLS or the Zillow, you're going to try to go get it. I don't care if the house went on the market today or it's been on the market for 60 days. Try to find out what is the story about that house? The newly fresh listings are going to be more patient, meaning they're not going to take that much lowball offer. But sometimes 1 out of 10 listings, I think it will take it. 1 out of 10 want speed. They need to sell quick. They have an auction date. They need the money to buy another house. They have another house on the contract and they need to sell this house. So they don't necessarily want the top dollar, but they want the convenience and the speed. And that's when you come in. So before you even look at that search, talk to hard money lenders. If you have the money, the cash in the bank, that's great. Good for you. But you should talk to hard money lenders about how you can be qualified. Do you need experienced investors to get a better rate? Can you do it as a first-time flipper? A lot of hard money lenders will lend you for, first-time flipper. Do you have family that can put the money in? So try to figure out the finances a little bit. So when you find a property, you act quickly and you snag that deal. And again, once you find that deal, you got to act as fast as possible. I'm not saying rush the decision of buying the home. I'm saying act fast. So try to get in the house. And before you get in the house, try to run your numbers. There's a free calculator that I offer here in this podcast. You'll see the advertising, but literally just plug in the numbers, even though they're not exact, and see how much profit is it, and if you're okay with it, right? So try to have an idea. You go to the house, you put an offer, and again, the worst case can happen is that you have an inspection contingency, whether it's a septic, well, building inspection, whatever. And if you don't like something that you see, but you got the deal, you can always back out. They do that to me all the freaking time. The people put great offers on the houses that I sell, knowing that there's something that they didn't like. Not the things the renovation that I did, but maybe a family member didn't like the house and didn't see it at the first place, and then they just put an offer. It happens to me. So I don't care if it happens to me. You should be super aggressive on that method. The MLS is a little bit more accurate, because the Zillow and Realtor, all these pages, they take the information from the MLS. So sometimes they do a good job updating on the real time, but the MLS is definitely the best system. So if you can have access to that, that will be great. Do you guys drink coffee? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. I'm actually wondering what kind of coffee you got. All right. I have a fourth and I have a fifth. The fifth is the most important one. So you have to listen to the fourth before you go to the fifth. The fourth one is the Facebook groups, at least in Connecticut. And I'm sure that every single state has Facebook groups for investors. So they are called, in this case, CT, Connecticut, RE Investors, Real Estate Investors, or Connecticut Real Estate Investors Network, or Landlords Page, or something like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Facebook, and then you're going to go on search of these groups, and you're going to join all these groups. The beautiful thing about these groups is that there are different people in these groups. They're not the same. If it would be everybody the same, then why the heck there's all these groups? And then every time that you need a referral for any contractor, I will suggest for you to look there first, because investors want to help others, and a lot of investors don't want to recommend someone that is bad. But also, what you're going to do is, if you have any experience, I want you to comment on things that people need help. Hey, I have a Section 8 tenant. This is going through, blah, 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 blah. And if you have any experience, help others, because there's two things that happen. Number one, you comment and then you get a hater or not, right? Which in any case, you shouldn't care. But number two, people will remember you. I have people bringing me deals because I have created value for other people, and I have commented and created so much value. So if I were you, I will search these groups. I will look for, you can also make a post about what are you looking for, and don't be afraid. And the best part is that Facebook let you cross post, which means is if you create a post, you can add it in every single group, the same post in every single group. That way you don't have to copy paste. That is genius. And again, the beautiful thing, guys, is that a lot of people say, oh, that's not going to work. People will remember your face. And for the love of God, please, don't be an anonymous goat 34. You have to have your own name. People won't respect if you're trying to do an anonymous post. So don't do that. Create that post and then comment on others. The other good thing is that you can there's going to be wholesalers saying, hey, off-market deal. They post pictures, and try to comment on those. Hey, send me more information. Or try to go to their DMs and say, hey, can you give me more information about this? Maybe this deal won't work, but this is what I'm looking for. And then try to build those relationships. Again, most of these strategies are for free or are low cost. So just use them. And don't try to go to all of them. Try to pick one. And once you have good, maybe you can have someone post for you about what you're looking for. Okay. So you cannot have someone to go through, to events, because that's something that you're trying to build your personal brand. You're trying to build yourself first. But you can pick and choose which one you want to go. And then the last one is the wholesalers and agents. Wholesalers are the middleman or middlewoman. Basically, they find someone, they have a distressed house, they put it on the contract with this person. And then, when I say they put in the contract, they have a contract with the seller, and then they sell that contract to the buyer. That's how wholesaling works. So again, Robert has a house. I put it in the contract like I'm going to buy it. And then I sell that contract for a fee to a buyer. And that's what wholesalers are. So wholesalers and real estate agents, realtors, realtor agents, real estate agents. So what I would suggest for you to do is to create a list of the people that you know. There are wholesalers or agents. Try to build that relationship, even if that list has 2 people. And then what I want you to do is every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, you reach out to them and say, hey, how you doing? Try to, again, be curious. To try to go for the deal first. Because when people feel used, that's the worst. Hey, how you doing? I have 30 people. I have 30 people on my list. Now, I eliminate out of those 30, I eliminate at least 5 because I don't really care about that person. So I cannot reach out to them if I don't really care. That's just not who I am. I will suggest for you to do the same. If you don't really care about that person, you're not curious about knowing that person, then I know this is business, whatever, but I won't do it. So what I would suggest is have a list, and then you can eliminate or keep adding every 2 to 3 weeks. Hey, how you doing? Good. Okay. What are you working on? Do you have any deals? Try to establish that relationship. And a text. You can call too. I think text works for me. I will not recommend for you to email. It doesn't seem personal to me. So I will do a call or a text, whatever you want. And again, the beautiful thing about this is if they don't have a deal right now, they're going to have a memory that you reach out to them. And whenever they have a deal, like let's say that 2 days later they get a deal, you're going to be the first person they're going to talk to because there's a fresh memory that Andres texted me. There's a fresh memory. Whether they want it or not, there is something in there. So branding, your brand, people talk about personal brand all the time. Personal brand is just when people remember who you are and they associate something with you. So I want to be associated as a guy that flips and rent home and have a rental. Again, that's all I do. I am known in the community of a guy that is not afraid to flip any house anywhere in Connecticut. That is my branding. Any house, any condition, anywhere in Connecticut. A lot of people say that, right? We buy cash, whatever, but they don't act on it. So I tell them, my wholesalers and agents, I have projects in Norwich, Connecticut, in Enfield, Connecticut, and in Greenwich, which are like, let's say, the 3 corners of the state, let's say. Right? And I do foundation issues, no worries. I'll do it. If you don't want to specialize in that, that's totally fine. But again, I'll try to position myself uniquely in that market. If you don't have anything unique, that's okay. You don't have to say anything. But try to build that personal brand and contact these agents religiously. I will recommend every 2 weeks until they tell you do not text me again, do not call me. Then obviously, do not do that. If they don't respond every time that you text, it's a sign maybe you shouldn't text. But a lot of people are busy. A good wholesalers and realtor are super busy. So don't take it off as an offense that it's not gonna, they're not gonna respond to your text messages now. The other thing is sometimes you're going to have deals. Once you start flipping and having rentals, sometimes you're going to have deals that goes across your desk that they don't fit your criteria. Maybe it's too far. But out of that list, what you can do if you want more deals is, let's just say that Tom flips in Norwich, Connecticut, but I don't. But I got a deal in Norwich. You can say, hey, Tom, I know someone that has a deal in Norwich, Connecticut. If Tom buys a deal, you're going to have a special place in Tom's heart as a wholesaler and realtor because you gave that link, and that person will remember you, and that person will bring you deals in the future. So in conclusion, and I'm going to backtrack, try to focus on 1 or 2 and try to be so good that it's impossible not to get deals. That's the first advice I will give you. Number two is until you don't have that system, until you're not so good, until you're not the best on one of these two, don't move on to the third one. Because again, if you try to do if you try to do half-ass, I don't care. If you try to do half-ass it, it's not going to be good. And you're not going to get deals because you're not going to build any momentum. That was me a couple years ago. I'm telling you this for experience. I'm not telling you this to not try. You're not going to be good if you're trying to do half. Get full on. And most important, if you really like this podcast, please just give it a 5-star. It will take you 20 seconds. If you are interested in any topic, like there's one topic that I haven't talked about, or nobody wants to talk about it, or you're curious about, just please let me know. Shoot me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. I respond to all of them because feedback is the thing that I love the most. So please, if you have anything to say, let me know. Until the next one. Peace.